Yes, guys. Welcome. Arne Slot is the new Liverpool manager. Arne is here. Look at him. He can't wait to start. Look at that man. Beautiful face. Big up. Yeah, there he is. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining us again as we talk about Liverpool's brand new manager, Arne Slot. Going to be Liverpool manager at the beginning of next season. All pretty much done and dusted. Will probably be, by the end of the weekend, will be completely named the Liverpool manager for next season. How are we feeling about it? We're going to talk about it today. So big up to everyone in the chat. And big up to my man as well, K-Mac, joining me this morning. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Just been watching the news and interesting stuff. We all going to be sluts?
We're all going to be slots. Yeah, exactly. We're all going to be slots. Massive slots. I have got one. I've seen news about Andy Robertson. So apparently, Andy Robertson's already met Arne Slot, and he's been left back under a Jurgen Klopp team for so many years. And yeah, this is the sneak interview. Someone got hold of it, and Robbo talking to Arne Slot here about being left back after all these years over Jurgen Klopp.
I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left.
Yeah, so there's a.
Right, I'm done. That's it. End the show now. That was just amazing.
So, footage there of Robbo talking to Slot, earlier on today about being the left back under Klopp for all these years. Got nothing left. He's finished.
I mean, we know that wasn't Robbo because we could understand him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Robbo, poor Robbo. But man, yeah, we've got loads to talk about. Everyone hit them likes, hit the subscribe, hit the share. You know what to do over here, guys. And don't forget to support K-Mac as well, guys. But big up to everyone. Hope you're all doing good. The news, what I've seen is big up Scraps in the chat. What I've seen so far is that people are starting to come round to the opinion that Arne Slot might be, I won't say the right guy because we won't know, but I think a lot of people are starting to come round to him, K-Mac, that this could be quite a shrewd appointment by Liverpool Football Club. What's your thinking of everything so far?
Look, at the end of the day, it's all about the data with our guys, Edwards and Hughes, and it looks like Barcelona and Bayern Munich are also looking at the data. At the end of the day, everyone's kind of looking for that next up and coming manager, aren't they? They're fed up with the dinosaurs, who seem to just relentlessly get jobs, by the way. They just get sacked and then get re-employed constantly. And we're kind of looking for the next one, who, at the end of the day, kind of like a De Zerbi, kind of like an Almiron or, an Alonso, those type of guys that are coming up, not too old, haven't been around too long, been winning trophies, but not quite at the highest of levels. And it looks like he's one that's ranked highest. I suppose you just have to trust the system because the system's worked for so long. It's only over the last 4 years that it's not, because it wasn't there. Now it's back. So
yeah, look, I'm proper interested. I ain't gonna lie. Big up to the Coppish raid as well. Big up to everyone who's coming over from Coppish. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure you're sitting in, getting your drink, getting comfortable, hitting that like, hitting that subscribe if you're new as well. We're going to have a nice little chat about Arne Slot. We're not going to go, I'm not going to do a video today where I'm going to just slag him off for absolutely no reason and things like that and be super negative. People want super negative. Goes that's not me, guys. You
Or
know,
me.
maybe exactly. We're a bit more positive around here, and you know, some people don't like positivity because some people just like to be unhappy. You know what I mean? But we're going to chat about it. We're going to look into it. We're going to talk about it, and yeah. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Yeah. Look,
Arnie Fisk. Sorry.
Arnie
That's
Fisk,
hilarious.
well, I can't. I kept calling him Arnie Klopp the other day, so that didn't like. Yeah, that some people got at me about that. They can't call him that. It's like that's so disrespectful. It's like Jesus.
Oh, was that the cult? Or was that the
You
cult?
can't
Okay.
say anything, man. You can't say anything. But look, he is the manager. What we're reading as well. So I've been reading today that he was always like a lot of people were saying he's Liverpool's number 3 or number 4 choice. Apparently, coming out of the club at the moment, Arne Slot has been Michael Edwards' number 1 choice since the get go. He's been Arne Slot's number 1 choice from the get go. Apparently, Amorim stuff. Liverpool have never spoke to him, K-Mac.
Nope.
You know, Liverpool never spoke to him. Hence the reason he got really pissed off in that press conference that he did for Sporting like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
When he got really angry because he's had no contact with Liverpool. Now, Liverpool were looking at Amorim. That is true. They were looking at him. They were trying to identify him. And apparently, they were going to try and make an attempt for Amorim if, you know, the stuff with Arne Slot didn't work. But Amorim shot himself in the foot by going to West Ham to try and get... Because he doesn't want to go to West Ham. He used West Ham to try and carry favour with Liverpool to get a better deal for himself. But what he didn't realise that he's playing with a cold-hearted killer in Michael Edwards who don't fall for this shit.
No.
And now he's shot himself in the foot. And Liverpool got their man. And look, none of us know a great deal about him so far. I think a lot of us have started to do our research about him and try and watch a little bit of final clips here and there since the last 48 hours or so. But what I will say, looking at him so far, K-Mac, he seems like he seems like a really great guy. Firstly, he seems quite charismatic. Look, being as charismatic as Klopp is almost impossible. So I'm not looking for someone like that. But he looks like he can, you know, hold himself. You know, he looks like he talks well. He speaks well. He looks like he has the players on his side as well. I've been listening to a lot of the Dutch press talking about the players at Alkmaar and Feyenoord as well, and how they sort of like love him and a massive respect for him, even though he's not been in the game that long. Came out. So is that a big plus for you hearing these sort of things?
Absolutely. The funny thing is, do you remember we did that show when we talked about like manager appointments, and then right at the end we went, "No one Edwards, he'll probably sign someone we never heard of."
We've been saying this, ain't we?
And he has.
Yeah.
He literally has. Because that's how he does things. Edwards is the master of mystery. You know, I said I kind of coined it. Maybe I did coin it, maybe I didn't. He's got the Midas touch, turns everything to gold. This guy, Barcelona and Bayern Munich wanted. Tottenham offered him a contract. He turned it down. Last year, Chelsea had him on their shortlist as number 2, behind Pochettino. Maybe they wish they got him now, but I'd say the biggest thing about Amorim, and I'm a little bit unhappy that we didn't get him, because I do think he's a good manager. I do think he'll go on to
he is. Yeah,
it would have been a big change at the club.
Huge.
Like a huge change, like, you know, different formation, 3 at the back, like, and apparently Virgil van Dijk has said he doesn't like playing 3 at the back. Like, he doesn't like playing in a back 3. That's another thing which has come out recently. All the stuff's coming out now, isn't it?
It's mad.
Also, the fact that we've got every single part of the club, from the kids all the way up to the adults, playing the system that we've been playing for so long. So to get a manager that isn't going to do that is a real change. And also it's probably the whole scenario around, does he pass the dickhead test? And maybe Amorim is a bit of a dickhead. Like, we just don't know. We know his agent is.
Yeah, and you're right with the Amorim stuff, and it's something we brought up as well. Like we brought this up about the Amorim stuff. Is like if you look at our team and the players we got and everything about our club, it's not suited really to play the Amorim way. It would have taken a lot of upheaval to to go that route. But there's similarities between Arne Slot and Klopp, and things they do, but there's also a lot of differences as well. There's a lot of differences in their game, and I think personally, what did everyone want in a manager? What did everyone want? You got Simeone at Atletico Madrid, right? The highest paid manager in world football. That would cost you an arm and a leg to get out of that football club. But that people want that sort of manager at Liverpool. If you go and put a poll out against all the Liverpool fans around the world, I reckon it'll come back more no's than yes about Simeone. Then who else you go look at? Carlo Ancelotti. He ain't leaving Real Madrid. And I don't think Carlo Ancelotti would personally come to Liverpool right now in his career. So who else is there? Who else is out there that can take over Jurgen Klopp? Amorim, again, is a risk. Slot is a risk. Xabi Alonso, even though well he's doing this season, is still a massive risk because I'm still waiting for the moment that Alonso goes for adversity. Then we're going to see what the real manager of Xabi Alonso's like. So it's still a risk. I just don't know who's out there, K-Mac, who would please the fan base entirely right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, who would please who would absolutely please this fan base? I made the sort of whim about Mourinho the other day, and it's only because I put a bet on him, and obviously it's not coming through now. But he wouldn't really suit this football club, would he? So out there, K-Mac, in reality, who is actually out there that everyone would be happy with?
Jurgen resigning,
and that's it, ain't it? And that's what I'm saying.
That's about it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is as well, I'm just going to throw this out there, and people can do the research, by the way, because this is interesting. You talked about Mourinho. Mourinho's the guy that's basically stopped Slot from winning trophies consistently over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like he's ran into Roma 3 times and got beat by them.
Yeah,
Mourinho
in cup finals is a beast, man. Mourinho in cup finals is a beast. My man Mo in the chat will know a lot about Mourinho, obviously winning the Champions League final for his beloved Inter Milan. Mourinho in the final is a beast, yeah? But would Mourinho have suited a Liverpool Football Club right now? After Jurgen Klopp? I don't know. I want to. So who's actually out there? That's what I'm trying to say to everyone in the chat right now. We've got almost 300 people in the chat. Who's actually out there that everyone would be happy with? As a manager of Liverpool Football Club taking over Jurgen Klopp right now. As I said, if Ancelotti came to Liverpool Football Club, it would all be it's Ancelotti. But is he really leaving Real Madrid? Probably not. And is the Liverpool job something he would probably want right now in his career after Klopp? I wouldn't have thought so. Simeone, I think, would divide the club too much. The way he is and his antics, I don't think the fans will be completely down with Simeone, although I like him.
Mate, we're literally looking at the chat, and everyone has wrote a different manager.
Exactly.
That's it. That is the thing about it. Everybody wants a different manager. There's no set person. Like, I'd say there's a lot of people that would have liked Inzaghi, but Inzaghi doesn't speak English, and he doesn't want to leave Italy.
Yeah, he ain't leaving Inter Milan right now. Why would he leave Inter Milan right now? That's mad.
Like,
yeah,
Tuchel, exactly. There's a lot of people that would have said Tuchel, but there's no
way
Edwards going to have Tuchel.
Right, I'm going to tell everyone right now. I'm telling everyone right now. I don't know much about Arne Slot, but I'm taking Arne Slot over Tuchel every day of the week. I'm just putting that out there right now.
He's toxic.
Look, I'm not a big Tommy Tuchel fan. I think Tommy Tuchel is a cup manager. I think he's a great cup manager, but he upsets everybody. He falls out with people constantly.
Yeah, and his players love him though, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But
It's
all the
like,
board and the management hate him.
yeah, Nagelsmann. I mean, Nagelsmann. I think in the next few years, after he's done the Germany job, I think he's going to be the next big coach in European football, in my opinion. I think there's something about him. I was talking about Nagelsmann when he was at Hoffenheim. I mean, the job he did at Hoffenheim is mad. It's a very small club in Germany, a very tiny, place in Germany as well. He
was like 27 when he was
yeah,
managing them.
the job he did there was immense, and he went to Leipzig and did a good job. And to be personally honest, I thought he got done wrong at Bayern Munich. And that's why he's extended his job at Germany. So who's out there, guys? In reality, the Amorim stuff. I think everyone was on board with Ruben Amorim, yeah. But I want is there a lot of difference, coach-wise, management-wise, between Amorim and Arne Slot right now? Is there is it like right, he's here and he's here? I wouldn't say so.
I think Slot's got a better European record, which was something that people looked at as an issue with Amorim. He hasn't really done it on a European level. Slot has. Like, Slot got to a Europa League final. He got beat on penalties. He also got to a quarter final in the Champions League. He came third in the Champions League in a really hard group with Lazio and who's that other team? I think it might have been Atletico Madrid, actually, mate. And he came third. He got like 6 points, which isn't bad. Like, we beat two teams, with Celtic as well, by the way, in that group, and then dropped out and went into the Europa League, and then got beat on penalties by Jose Mourinho's Roma in the Europa League again. And then so he's got to a final, and he's got to, I think, quarterfinals.
He's got an extremely
short. Bad.
He's got an extremely short career. He had
5 years.
I think he had like 20 odd games with Brada or something like that at first. And then he went to AZ Alkmaar. And apparently that team he had first, he almost got promoted. Yeah,
he came third.
Yeah, he almost got promoted.
They lost on penalties. In their
playoffs for
promotion.
Yeah, because they faced the bottom team in the first division, don't they?
Yeah.
So he almost got that team promoted, which is ridiculous.
And that was bonkers. He took them from, I think they were 20th.
Yeah.
He took them from a low position right up to third.
Then he went to AZ Alkmaar, and if the pandemic didn't happen, he could have won that league. By the way,
they were joint top with 25 games played.
Yeah,
and they had the momentum against Ajax.
Yeah,
by the way.
And that is Ten Hag's Ajax with all them players at the time, and good footballers they had at Ajax. And COVID stopped that happening, and then he got sacked from that job because he was talking a Feyenoord. It was a bit naughty. He was talking to Feyenoord behind their backs. So he got sacked.
That was the next year. Next year.
And then he went and won the league. For the first time in 20 years.
He came third. He came third the year later when he got sacked, but he got sacked halfway through the season.
Yeah,
because he was doing he was that's naughty.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I don't like that, to be fair.
But that shows that he was keeping AZ Alkmaar at the top, in contention, even before he left.
I mean, they had the same points. Like, they finished on 72 points. It's just that PSV had a really, really good season. Ajax had a good season that season.
Yeah,
he finished behind the usual lot, which is like Ajax and PSV.
Well, last season he won the league, didn't he? This season he's finishing second. He won the league last season, playing some beautiful football. I've watched his team play, man. They play beautiful football, different to the way we play. More control the way he plays compared to our erratic style.
They press so high up. Look at the amount of turnovers they get on the in the opposition's just outside the defense. If you want to see how he's going to play with us next year, watch the game that they beat Ajax 6-0. They literally took the ball off them in their own half for every single goal.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
And look at this. This is
yeah.
completely true what Tina says here. You know, he did rebuild their team on 30 million
Every year.
euros. He rebuilt
year.
Feyenoord on 30 million euros and won the league. This year, he's 9 points behind PSV. But the problem is PSV and Ajax are the two biggest clubs in the Netherlands, yeah? And then, because if you look at Feyenoord, you know, they're not PSV and Ajax, but he's doing an amazing job. He won the cup final last weekend. You know, so he's won another trophy, competed in the league again. You know, there's obviously something about him that's obviously a good coach. Because what we're talking, the way we're speaking about him here, he's obviously a good coach. He obviously knows what he's doing, and he's got a way of playing. I was listening to the Dutch guy on Talk Sport yesterday, a Dutch journalist who will obviously know a lot more than you and me and everyone else.
What's his name?
That's it. Yeah, something like that. And he basically said, in his opinion, he is the best Dutch coach working right now. He says completely, he leaps in ahead of Ten Hag. He believes he's the best Dutch coach around right now. And he's got that. They basically call him the Dutch Pep, don't they? That's basically what he is. And he plays. His football's more aligned to the way Pep Guardiola plays with City more than the way Klopp plays with more erratic style. So. And the players love him. And the news coming out of the club right now, apparently the club are behind this. Apparently the players are really behind this. So Lewis Steele, who put out yesterday that this Arne Slot stuff looks like it's going to be done by the weekend. He's been proved right. And today he's reported coming out of the football club that all the players are really excited and really up for next season under Arne Slot. So, you know, people like Gakpo will know a lot about him when he was playing for PSV. He'll know about him. You know, Virgil being a Dutchman, he'll know. Gravenberch will know. You know, they will know what sort of manager they got coming, what sort of coach they got coming as well. And he's obviously got qualities. Obviously, he's got qualities. Now, the negatives are that he's not been a manager for that long. He's coming from the Dutch league that no one trusts, and I understand that. Yeah. But I think what we are doing as a fan base as well, we're comparing him to Ten Hag, which I think we shouldn't do because they're both Dutch and bald. Is that what we're doing here? I do. I'm being serious here. I do think there's an image thing with Arne Slot. I think his name is unfortunate, and I think the way he looks. If he was Spanish and looked more like Pep Guardiola, no one would be saying anything.
Well, we all love hipsters, don't we?
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Ten Hag's done a terrible job at Man United. But if you look at what's happening at Man United the last few years, every manager that's gone there has done a terrible job. I don't think it means they're terrible managers. It just means the system at Man United is completely broken. Slot's going to have a better system behind him at Liverpool than Ten Hag does at Man United, where I think he's going to do. I'm looking forward to it. Came out. I can't like him. I love Jurgen Klopp. We all love Jurgen Klopp, and he's going to be a legend of our football club forever and ever and ever. No one's ever going to take that away from him. But I do think we need a fresh coat of paint right now.
We've needed a fresh coat of paint for a while.
And even when I listen to Trent in his interview the other day, when he said, like, when they were talking about, like, the boys have been talking about Klopp leaving, and you know, and they sounded excited for the future as well. I think everyone just needs something new at the club right now, a new voice, a new way of playing, a new instruction, a new mentality. And that's nothing dissing on Jurgen Klopp. He will never be forgotten, and he'll always will be remembered for the legend he is. But time moves on, people move on, and things move on. And I think Klopp leaving at the right time, in my opinion, and this new manager coming in, I think the timing is really good by Liverpool Football Club, personally, K-Mac.
So I mean, I said this on another channel area, and everything just erupted. Like the internet broke when I said it. But seriously, it's about time we got the adults back at the club to run the club, because I've no idea what's been going on for the last couple of years, but it's like a holiday camp. Like it's been like a holiday camp. Like if you're a mate, if you get on really well with the manager and the coaches, then you play every game whether you're shit or not. It's just the way it is. We've needed a change. We've needed a change in the coaching staff more than the manager, mate. If I'm honest, if Klopp just changed things up and got rid of some of those coaches that he's been listening to in his ear for the last 9 years, then it would have helped us. That's what Fergie was so good at. Like, love him or hate him, mostly hate him, but he kept on getting rid of his coaches because he needed a new voice to listen to. And that's what we should have done a long, long time ago. And for the last 2 years, and we've said it loads now, mate, Pep and Linders has been managing the club for the coaching and the tactics and the way things have been going. And that should never have been the case. Klopp lost his identity a long time ago because he was listening to everyone else around him for too much. And this new guy, he's got new ideas. I mean, he's got a new system. Like, I know he plays inverted, but he plays inverted where the right back or the left back turns into a centre back, so he doesn't bomb forward and leave us completely exposed. He's bringing the assistant manager to Ronald Koeman, by the way, who all our Dutch players know really well. He's got a lot of respect. I think his name's Huseloff or something like that. He's also bringing his head performance coach and his fitness coach with him. So Schlumberger and that other guy who breaks everyone will be going. I just think for the 140 million that's just been spent on revamping our midfields, and the fact that we've literally just got 6 incredible youngsters who have got quite a bit of first team experience now into the team, we are in such a good place. Like we really need to be happy that we are going forward and not backwards. Because if we kept these guys again for another year, the same stuff would have happened, and we'd be talking about the same things over and over again. And I do think there will be some surprises. There'll be some players going that we don't expect to go. Like, and I don't think that's down to Slot. I think that's down to Hughes and Edwards, because they're ruthless and they'll know what needs to be done.
Oh yeah,
they're major surgery. I don't think it's major surgery, but
I don't think a lot needs to happen. I don't
think a lot needs to happen either.
I don't think a lot needs to happen. And she said we've got good youngsters coming through.
Yeah.
And when you were saying that just now about the players and the youngsters we got coming through, that is all down to the legacy that Jurgen Klopp has left behind.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And he deserves everything for that legacy he's left behind.
Yeah.
And someone else is going to come on now into the club with maybe some different ideas, different way of motivating and coaching and all that, and hopefully take their game to another level. That's what we're all hoping here happens, and that's thanks to Jurgen. So we're never going to that's the great job that he's done there. But as you say, I don't think a lot needs to happen. I think we need to get 4 or 5 players in this summer. I think it does need to be a big transfer window for that. I think a few need to go. And I think 4 or 5 need to come in. And then with the players and the youngsters we got, I think we're still all right to keep going. I really do. I don't see this massive drop off a cliff everyone's expecting right now. Now, there will be a drop, obviously, because you've got someone new coming in after all these years. That's always going to happen. But, I don't think we need major surgery. I really don't. I think the foundations are quite solid at the club. I think Trent will sign a new deal. I think Virgil will sign a new deal, but I think Mo Salah will leave. And it might be it's never good losing your best player, but sometimes you got to work out when's the right time to let someone leave and not overstay their welcome and then become the villain. and maybe with Mo, that is this summer is the right time for Mo Salah to leave because, you know, I think there's so much to look forward to. You know, there's players in our team that, for me, are playing out of position right now that will probably not be playing these positions next season.
Dutch.
You got some really good Dutch players. Look, Gravenberch, all the things we say about him is Gravenberch is a good player, man.
He could be a good 10. He could be a good 10.
You know, he didn't have this reputation at Ajax for nothing for being one of the best next youngsters. Bayern Munich saw that, but unfortunately, it just didn't work there. But there's something about him. Szoboszlai, me and K-Mac have said this for time now. He's not a number 8. He shouldn't be playing in that position. His form low, the way he can't pass, is just, that's down to himself at the moment. You can't blame anyone else for that. But he is playing out of position. You know, and then the Darwin Núñez factor, it's going to be very interesting this summer what Liverpool do with Darwin.
I don't think he'll be at the club.
And then Mo Salah, you know. So look, there's a lot of great things going on. I'm trusting the club. I think actually a lot of the fan base as well are not happy, but they're getting behind Arne Slot. I'm seeing this online the last 24 hours. I think people are starting to do their homework and look into him. It was the same thing in the Wataru Endo situation. When no one knew who he was, we all laughed when we got him. Who's this little guy? What the fuck? And then we all did our own work and then, oh shit, he's actually quite a decent footballer, you know? You know, it's that. And I think with Arne Slot, everyone started doing their own work on him the last 24, 48 hours and realising, oh, hang on, he's actually quite a good coach. And he's good at motivating players. He built a Feyenoord team out of no money to win a league title with there, which isn't easy when you've got Ajax and PSV in that league at the time. And the jobs he's done at AZ Alkmaar, Camembert, and now here in his short stint obviously shows that he has actually got ability in coaching and playing attractive football. So there's a lot to like about him. He's got a nice person. He's got a good personality as well. And he's a bit of a gangster, as I'm about to show.
Wordt daar vanaf de voet bijgepraat en geholpen te landen.
Feyenoord is zo ongelooflijk trots dat hij nog altijd de trainer wil zijn van deze club. Hier is Arne Slot!
Yeah, my manager, my gangster manager, man. He came in a helicopter.
I tell you what, we won't be doing that, will we? It'll more be one of those planes with some with some flags behind it where the fans are paid.
I want. You know what's going to be interesting though? I'm looking forward to after the season's finished and Arne Slot has his first press conference as Liverpool manager. Yeah, like when Klopp came. Do you know who's going to be sitting next to Arne Klopp when he comes in on his press conference? Mr. Edwards. We've not really heard.
Hughes. It'll be Hughes, won't it?
Well, I think it'll be Hughes and Edwards.
Yeah.
And we've not really heard.
Everyone really needs to start talking about Hughes because everyone just keeps on talking about Edwards. It's actually Richard Hughes who was going to be our director of football.
Yeah, yeah.
People keep on saying it's Edwards. It's not. It's
Edwards. Edwards did the job to get the manager, and then Richard Hughes will get the players. But
Richard Hughes is really good. Okay, he's really good. Like
we've never really heard
huge reputation. Like
we've not heard Edwards speak that much.
No,
And he's probably
because he's
going to
not
juice.
because he's not our director of football, mate.
He's probably going to juice him. He's probably going to juice
He might
him.
do, yeah. He might
He is literally Arnie. He runs the football club. He was in charge of getting him, so it'll probably be him. It won't be Billy Hogan now. So it'll probably be, as you say, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, and Arne Slot in that press conference. That'll be probably the three. And yeah, man, he's
Can I just say something on the Mo Salah thing as well?
Go
And the reason why I think Mo Salah won't be at the club next year is, if you think about it, you've got a manager coming in who's never really dealt with big egos, like, because he hasn't really got any at Feyenoord or Alkmaar or Alcazar, wherever they're called. So he hasn't really got like a global superstar. And if you look at our other superstars, well, they're Dutch and they know him, so they've already got a kind of relationship with him anyway, and also a rapport to be able to understand him and be able to like listen to him. But with Mo Salah, he's so big a global superstar, and he's worked with Klopp only at Liverpool for the whole duration. I think it makes sense to move him off, to move him out, and to have the captain as someone that he already knows, and not have that interference, because he's going to be telling Salah what to do, and he's not going to be playing Salah as the striker. He's going to be in like the number 10 kind of role, which he might not be able to do, or he might be able to do. I don't know, but it just makes a lot of sense to take away that obstacle from him. And also, you know, Saudi Arabia aren't going to come knocking all the time now, because they've already said that they don't want old players. Salah's 32, and Edwards isn't going to let his contract run down. He's only got 1 year left, so if we could get 100 million for him, because it might only be that, by the way, because they spent 93 million on Neymar, like when he had a year left in his contract. So, you know, 120 million, that could pay for Michael Elise and Mohamed Kudus and his wages, and that's basically the right hand side and the left hand side like redone. Like, and no one's complaining about those two players. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
and that's kind of my feeling on Salah. Not the fact that, you know, he's not good enough or blah 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 or this. I just think it may be looked at from a different angle, as, you know, is he going to be able to do what he wants? And he's 32. Like, you're going to be able to teach an old dog new tricks, so to speak? And will he listen? You know what I mean? It just makes sense for me. There you go. Salah is Coutinho, 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you. Lee in the chat.
I love
Lee,
Salah, by the way. Sorry.
I'm reading your things in the chat. Lee, are you all right? I'm just, I think, yeah. I'm just making sure you're okay, my friend. I'm making sure you're okay. Yeah, look, I think I look at Mo, and I love Mo. We all love Mo. Great legend of our football club. Only 5th all-time top goal scorer for Liverpool. Again, like Jurgen, be a legend at Liverpool forever. But it comes a time and a day when these legends have to leave the football club. And the job of this football club is to pick the right time to let them go. So I always believe there's a right time for players to leave. You know, is it correct right now for Liverpool to give him another big contract? He's on 350 grand a week now. Do we go to 400 grand a week and give him 2 more years? Are we all positive there's going to be no drop-off to Mo Salah whatsoever? Is everyone positive that Mo Salah's not going to drop off in the next 12 months? And 400 grand a week is a lot of money, guys. Are we all positive about that? And that's what the club have got to try and work out. no matter how much legendary status these players have got, these managers have got, and the people at football clubs have, you always have to let them go at the right time. And that's St. Liverpool really got to think about this summer with for Jurgen Klopp and for Mark Edwards and the boys to think about right now. Sorry, what is going on in the chat? Yeah, he doesn't deserve a pay rise. I mean, 350 grand a week is a lot of money.
I mean, he should be on more anyway, to be fair. Like most should probably be on 500 if I'm honest. Like he should be the highest, probably one of the highest paid, if not joint top. Like he's done incredible things for years and years. I'm not saying Mo's bad, and I'm not saying Mo should go because he's a poor player. I'm talking about it from a standpoint of what makes things easier, like how you take away any kind of, I don't know, progression block, or how you want to say it, but to take away that one big ego like that, one big head like that out of the club, who might not want to do what Slot wants, and to just have the other one as a guy that he knows, and also to give him the money to replace, some of the attackers, which let's be honest, we need to replace. Like, biggest issue this season, we haven't scored enough of our chances. Like,
yeah, exactly. And this is true from Wade here as well. Yeah, we have done a terrible job of selling players in recent years.
Oh.
And this is what I'm saying. I think we keep hold of players too long sometimes. You've got to know, by recruitment is the biggest thing in football for your team to succeed. But it's not just about buying players. It's about knowing when to sell players as well, when to let go of players. That is as important as buying players, because you can buy players at your football club. But if you've got players there that are just rotting away and you don't sell them, it's not improving your football team. So you have to know when to buy, when to sell. It goes both ways, in my opinion. It really does. Yeah, I believe Salah gets almost $1 million a week. I think it's through bonuses as well. Salah's bonuses, Mo Salah's bonuses will be insane. In his contract. Trust. Yeah, they'll be absolutely mad.
I think Salah gets 50 grand a goal.
Probably. That's why he tries to score all the time.
By the way, no, seriously, I think Salah gets 50 grand a goal.
He gets mad bonus, man.
That's just bonkers.
And like Justin says, to succeed, the club needs a football culture with a good recruitment team. Something we now have finally. Now,
we've had a decent recruitment team. Like, we've always had a decent recruitment team. We just had someone that didn't want those players. Like, we now know that the recruitment team wanted Nkunku instead of Núñez. That's come out recently. And that was Nkunku when he wasn't injured, by the way.
They want João Pedro as well. They wanted Rodrigo. They wanted Enzo Fernandez. They wanted actually quite a lot of players. But look, I don't want to get into a war about transfers because everyone goes down that. We're going to talk about the transfer stuff on Tuesday. So on Tuesday night, guys, on the channel, we're having a massive debate, a big football debate on Liverpool Football Club, with Arne Slot as manager and stuff like that. So we're going to have a huge debate. There's going to be a big panel. It's going to be a great night. So make sure you're tuning in on Tuesday evening, guys, at 7 p.m. It's going to be, I know you've got Champions League football, but who gives a shit about Champions League football when we've got a big football debate on the channel at 7 p.m. on Tuesday? So, yeah, make sure you're checking that out. We've got, obviously, got my man K-Mac on here. We've got Cal from Coppish. We've got Jack. We've got Ricky. Some other guys you mightn't seen before on other channels. Yeah, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be a great show. So make sure you join that. And we'll talk about all the transfer stuff then, because if we go off now, we'll just be here all night. And some people might get a bit upset, man. But yeah, look, a lot of people are now saying we went to Arne Slot because it was a cheap option. Now, I do believe budget is a budget, and there is a budget at Liverpool Football Club. So I'm not going to say people were wrong about it, but I don't think they went for him because he's the cheap option. They probably went for him because they felt like he was the right option. As I said, with Ruben Amorim, Ruben Amorim wanted to be the second highest paid manager in world football, by the way. That's what he wants. That's what he wants in his contract. He wants to be paid more than Klopp is now. That's what he wants, which is mad money. He wants 20 million a year.
That's nuts. It wasn't about the money either, by the way. Just in case people didn't know, Arne Slot was on Premier League wages at Feyenoord. Like, they paid him big money to get him there. He was on 4.5 million a year, which is Premier League wages, which is more money than De Zerbi's on, by the way.
Yeah, Arne Slot was the most paid Dutch manager of all time when he was at Feyenoord. That's how much they thought about him. You know, no Dutch manager in the history of Dutch football got paid more than Arne Slot when he was at Feyenoord. And I think that tells you everything about Arne Slot right there. That's how much they thought of him.
I think in total, he's going to cost us 12.5 million. I think it's like 10 million and 2 million add-ons.
Yeah.
So we're paying top dollar. Like, you know, if we'd have gone for the likes of Amorim, then I think he was 8.4 million. Like, I think his release clause was about 8.4 million.
Well, they're probably around the same.
It's roughly the same. Like, so you know, but 20 million.
Yeah,
seriously.
That's why West Ham told him to fuck off as well, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm saying it's just
that's bonkers.
I think Amorim will stay at Sporting personally.
Yeah, but signed a new contract, any.
Yeah, I think he'll stay at Sporting. But I just feel like there's not a great dearth of talent in world football for managers right now as there used to be.
I think everyone is a risk right now. Everyone's going to be a risk. Like, you're losing Jurgen Klopp. Like, he was a banker. He was always going to get you, like, there or thereabouts in a final. You're always going to be in a final, around the final, you know, challenging, you know, he's always going to give you that. So any guy we're going to get in is going to be a risk. Like, so all you can work with was all of the criteria that fits a good manager for the future, like, and where they're going to take the club. And we've got everything in place now from back to front for a guy to come in, bring some of his team, and to just carry on where Jurgen's left off. And he's left us in a fantastic place. Like, no doubt, left us in a fantastic place. I mean, he hasn't broke all our players yet, all our new players anyway. Half broke them, but the new guy can continue on.
And Frank's right. And Frank's right. Yeah, he says, like, his agent asked for it, and he's right. His agent did ask for it, but his agent works for him, so he would have had a rough idea what Amorim probably wanted, and his agent, his agent's the mouthpiece. So
the interesting thing about that, Jamie, as well, and also Frank, he's the agent of Diaz. That's not going to help Diaz, because Diaz is looking for a new contract as well. That's really not going to help his agent being like that.
And I like Amorim. I think, look, Amorim's one of the great up and coming young coaches. There's no doubt about that. And I think he's going to have an amazing career. I reckon Ruben Amorim's going to have an amazing career. But I've spoken about it time and time again on my channel, why I didn't think Ruben Amorim at Liverpool would work right now. Because the player up, we have not got the players and the system at our club that's been built up the last few years that suits the way Ruben Amorim wants to play. We just haven't. And the upheaval in that would be huge and makes no sense right now. You know, I don't like it particularly because of the way football is now, but football is very structured now. It's very systematic now. You know, that is what football is. We're getting away of the natural borders now and letting them do their own thing. We try and hold them back now, but 20 years ago you would never have done that. You'd you let the street ballers be street ballers. You know, you wouldn't give them a thing on the pitch, but football is very systematic now, and you know, I just feel like Amorim right now with the players we got in the system at Liverpool last few years. Yeah, I just don't think it suits right now. I did the video a few weeks ago about it as well. I spoke about it. I looked at everything we got. I just didn't think it was working. But then a few weeks ago, I didn't know about Arne Slot. And I know about his name because I remember Tottenham were in for him. And I remember Tottenham fans actually quite hyped up about trying to get him because that was the year Feyenoord won the league. And they were looking at him thinking, wow, he got Feyenoord to win the league. And, you know, that's a great accomplishment for a team that's only won it twice in 24 years. That's a great accomplishment. And Tottenham fans are getting giddy about it. But he turned Tottenham fans. He turned Tottenham down. He was, nah, I'm all right. You know, he's got... And do you know what I like about Arne Slot? This is what I like about him. I don't know nothing about him. But what I do like about him, he's like, yeah, your legend Jurgen Klopp's leaving. I'll take the job. I'll take the job. No bones about it. No worries. I'll take it.
Set of kahunas, that, innit?
That's what I like. People that's got balls, man. I like people that have got a pair of bollocks between their legs. Yeah, not like that physically. You know what I mean, guys. But but he's got that cojones, as you say, that he's going right. He's going like, yeah, Jurgen Klopp is an absolute legend at Liverpool Football Club and will ever be written into the laws of Liverpool Football Club as a legend like Shankly and Paisley. No doubt about it. But I want to go there after him. I want to be the manager after him. I believe in myself. And that shows me a confidence that I like as well. A confidence that he believes in himself, that he can come in after such a legendary manager and do things his way as well. I don't know about you, K-Mac, but I actually, that's one thing I really appreciate about him, about knowing him.
I totally agree. That is something which I think is you've got to think it's commendable. I think we'll be surprised how good his press conference will be as well. I've listened to him like do a couple of press conferences now. He did one against after a Celtic game. He's quite funny, like, and he speaks really good English. I think it'll be interesting. I think also we have to, like, a lot of people are writing in stuff about like his players and things like that. He's not in charge of transfers. Okay.
No, he's
one
head
of
coach.
One of the big factors is he works with what he's got and he does a good job with it. I wouldn't say he's going to be a yes man, but I will say that he's going to work with the director of football and he's going to trust the system. And the system worked for a number of years with us. Like, we had some incredible journeys with those guys that were recruiting. Remember, we were like, everyone was talking about like Liverpool's got the best recruitment in the world. Like it's hit after hit after hit. The good times are coming back. More are going to happen, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
I've got to go, buddy. All right.
Yeah, no worries, man.
I've got a long drive tomorrow as well.
Yeah, enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you Tuesday, right?
Yeah, see you Tuesday, everyone. Big up the chat.
See you later, my man.
See you later, man.
Yeah, like, yeah, look, as someone put in the chat right now, right? As someone put in the chat right now, Jamie never heard of Slot, now he's on bandwagon. Oh, look, I never heard of Wataru Endo, and everyone got on him, and they all got on the bandwagon just because I wanted to back the player. And all I'm doing with Slot is I'm backing him. As a fan of Liverpool Football Club, I'm just going to back the new manager that's coming into our football club and seeing how he does. He might be a success, he might not. I don't know. I can't tell people the future, guys. I really can't tell people the future. All I know is that he's taking over a legend of our club. You know, Jurgen Klopp is leaving. For anyone to come in after Jurgen Klopp, it would be extremely difficult anyway. It'd be extremely difficult. And I just got to back him, man. I don't understand people that are Slot out. I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. Like, you've not even seen him play yet under, with Liverpool, and people will slot out already. I don't get that. That's just me. It's my personality. Maybe I'm built a bit differently than some others, but I've got to back him. He's coming to our football club. You know, I'll give him the opportunity, man. You know, it's just what I've just done my homework the last 24 hours, 48 hours, a little bit of look at him, listening to people that know far more than I do about him, you know, listening to Dutch journalists, Dutch footballers, ex-Dutch players, people that have played under him. I was listening to Sander Westerveld about him the other day as well, talking about him, and great conversations, and then just going back and watching some of his Feyenoord team play and the way they set up and what he's done at Feyenoord is a great success. You know, rebuilding a team on 30 million, winning the league with them for only the second time in 24 years, I believe. You know, winning the cup last weekend. You know, he's obviously a good coach, and he's ambitious, and he believes in himself, and that's all I want, guys. You know, I've got a manager coming in who believes in himself, who's obviously a very good coach. He just hasn't got the reputation. And that's the thing we're all going to be a bit worried about. And I agree with everyone. Dutch football is not the best. It just ain't. It's just not. And that's going to be the worry of people. He's coming from the Dutch league. We've seen Ten Hag. I think people using the Ten Hag comparisons a bit out of order. I don't understand the comparison, really. You know, Man United behind the scenes is a complete joke and a complete mess. You know, it's not like that at Liverpool. You know, I think Slot would be coming into a team that is more well equipped than Man United right now behind the scenes. And the players are going to give him the chance. You know, the players are already excited about him coming in and what we're hearing from the club already. Just got to give him a chance, man. What's the point of negativity? I don't understand negativity. What is the point of putting negativity around the football club? You know, before he has the opportunity to even show us what he can do. You know, everyone thought that about Ange. You know, Ange came from Celtic to Spurs, and, you know, everyone was like, what's this geezer doing? Like, who's he? And he's done pretty well with Spurs, he asked me. And, you know, in my opinion, if Ange stays at Tottenham for the next 2 or 3 years, he's only going to make Tottenham better. He's going to get better and better at that job, and he's going to get his players in. At the moment, this Tottenham team for Ange is not his team yet. It's only his first season. Give it to the 3rd or 4th season, it'll be his team, and he's probably going to do a lot better with Spurs. So sometimes you've got to give managers chances, man. Look at Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta came from nowhere. He was Pep Guardiola's number 2, never been a manager before. Arsenal was the first club he's ever managed. And he's a bloody good coach. People might not like to hear it, but Mikel Arteta is a very, very good coach, and it's proving right now. You know, his Arsenal team are not doing what they've done the last 2 years by sheer luck. He's a good coach. Sometimes we just got to give people an opportunity and a chance, you know, and see what they can do. You know, Arsene Wenger was a manager of Monaco in France, I believe. And no one really heard of him when he came to Arsenal. He was he at Monaco and Grand Passat in Japan? I believe he signed Gary Lineker when he was the manager of Grand Passat in Japan. And no one really heard of Arsene Wenger. A lot of Arsenal fans, I remember this because I'm old enough, were like, who's Arsene Wenger? Who's this guy? And he came in and he was revolutionary, like a revolutionary manager at that football club. So I'm willing to give him a chance. Yeah, exactly. Ian Wright. That was the famous Ian Wright quote. Who? He didn't know who Arsene Wenger was. He's like, who? It's the famous quote. We just got to give people chances. Big up, Frank. It's just we just got to give people an opportunity and a chance to do their thing. Look, yeah, Southampton when they hired Pochettino, I remember Southampton. I remember Matt Letizia going absolutely bonkers when Southampton sacked their manager. I can't remember what his name was now, and hired Pochettino. because no one really heard of Pochettino. He was doing a job in Espanyol in Spain, doing a pretty good job there. Most people know Pochettino as the person who fouled Michael Owen in the World Cup for the penalty. That's what people know Pochettino, right? But he's actually a really good coach, Pochettino. Yeah, it's not gone well for him, but he's not like a terrible coach. You know, he's just at the wrong club in Chelsea right now. But look what he did to Tottenham. You know, look how well he did Tottenham. The job he done at Tottenham is so underrated. The job Pochettino done at Tottenham was underrated. Yeah, he never won anything, but the job he did there with no money, great job. Got to a Champions League final, always in the Champions League. We had Tottenham in the Champions League, probably fighting above better than they were. I've got to get behind the guy. Why would I be negative from the start? I don't understand it. I don't, you know, in the next season, if things start to go wrong, I'm probably still not going to be negative because, let's put it this way. If Jurgen Klopp was still at Liverpool next season, do I expect Liverpool to win the Premier League next year? No. Probably not. Even with Jurgen Klopp in charge. So why would people start moaning that Liverpool are probably not going to win the Premier League next year because we got Arne Slot? If we probably weren't going to win the Premier League if we still had Jurgen Klopp. That makes, you know what I'm saying? So I think you just got to give him a chance. Yeah. And obviously, rival fans are bantering it right now. Who's Arne Slot? Who's Arne Slot? I think what rival fans have got to do is, yeah, they can have their laugh at the moment, but what rival fans have got to remember is that Liverpool don't get a lot of things wrong. You know, Liverpool's recruitment, apart from the last couple of years, is usually correct. You know, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know enough about him. I just want to get behind him. I don't want negativity around the football club. You know, who says Arne Slot don't play good football? We got good players, man. We got good. Let's not sit here and pretend we got shit players. You know, next season, what if Arne Slot goes, right, see the footballers playing at Feyenoord with lesser ability footballers? I'm going to do that now with better footballers. You see the way I defend? Playing that 4-5-1, right? I'm going to let in less goals because I've got Virgil van Dijk and Alisson behind in there. So I'm going to concede less goals than I did at Feyenoord. So if he's playing beautiful football at Feyenoord with lesser ability players, he's going to play really good football for Liverpool with better footballers. And he's not the one thing I can't have a go at him at will be recruitment. So the recruitment side of it is going to be the Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards and the transfer committee at Liverpool Football Club. They're going to be in charge of recruitment. So I can't sit here and blame Arne Slot on recruitment if players don't go right or go wrong, because he's coming in as a head coach, guys. He isn't coming in as a manager. He's coming in as head coach. So the recruitment side of it is all going to be on Michael Edwards' and Richard Hughes' front. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about, and I want to talk about the Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards scenario, because I'm going to say this right now. I've seen a lot of negativity about Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, especially Michael Edwards, which I find absolutely mad. And I'm going to say it now, extremely hypocritical. Really hypocritical, because Liverpool fans forget. When Michael Edwards was our sporting director, did we or did we not all say he's the best in the business? Didn't we all sit here when Michael Edwards was our sporting director saying he is the best in the business? Rival fans at other clubs used to say, how do they keep doing it with their recruitment? How do they keep finding these players and selling these players on for good money and all that? Michael Edwards is a genius at what he does. It's like we forgot. It's like we sat there and just went, nah. It's like we forgot to realise how good he was at his job. Did he get transfers wrong? Of course he did. Everyone gets transfers wrong. No one is perfect. No one's perfect. Everyone gets transfers wrong. Yeah. Sometimes you might see a player who looks fantastic, is doing great, and you might think they'll work for my football club. They've got a great just really good players. People were excited about. You get them in, and for some reason they don't work. That happens. No one's perfect in their roles. No one. Everyone makes mistakes. And Michael Edwards has made those mistakes, but he's also made great choices. But everyone was like, when he was sporting director and Jurgen Klopp was manager, we all said we have got the best combination in football. We got the best manager in Jurgen Klopp, and we got the best sporting director in Michael Edwards. And as a combination, they're mustard. They're absolutely mustard. And now people are just going, nah, I'm not having Michael Edwards no more. It was all Jurgen Klopp that made the players better. Well, yeah, because that's Jurgen Klopp's job. I hate this shit. When it had nothing to do with Michael Edwards, it was Jurgen Klopp. He made the players better. Yes, because that's his job. Michael Edwards is not the manager. He's just a geezer who finds the players for the manager. So it's actually up to the manager to make them better players. That's the point of a manager. I don't get that. I really don't get that. And Klopp made some of these players excellent. But Mo Salah had a great reputation in European football. And us bringing him in and Jurgen Klopp, with his ability and the way we play, made him a better player. Jota made him a better player, but he already had it's not like he was shit. Mane, better player, but it's not like he was shit. All these players that we brought in that Klopp made better were very good players and had a level where we did our homework and thought, Mo Salah, like Edwards would have looked at someone like Mo Salah and gone, him under Jurgen Klopp will absolutely cook. Mo Salah, in the way we play, our attacking philosophy, the way Jurgen Klopp can improve players, this is going to be a tremendous bit of business. If I can get Mo Salah and give him to Jurgen Klopp, he's going to be mustard. And that's the point of the combination between the two. It's a great combination between the two. And I don't understand the hate for Edwards now. I just don't get it. And what people don't understand is, Michael Edwards obviously believes in himself, Michael Edwards obviously has got an ego. There's no doubt about that. And for me, if you're going to be successful in life, you have to have an ego. I'm sorry if people don't like that. But if you want to be successful in life and be the best you can possibly be, you have to have an ego. And Michael Edwards has got an ego. It's very obvious, He probably thinks his shit don't stink. I don't care, as long as he does the job. And if Arne Slot doesn't work, it's down on Michael Edwards. So Michael Edwards knows that. But he's bringing in Arne Slot into this football club. So there's obviously a plan that he believes in himself and he believes in Arne Slot that this is going to work. And that is what I'm trying to say. If it doesn't work, it's not on Arne Slot, in my opinion. It's on everyone else behind him. He'll just be the fall guy. So Michael Edwards has got to make sure, and Richard Hughes, they together as a partnership, they have got to make sure this works. They are obviously betting against themselves to make this work. And like Eamon, when you say coal to make diamonds, so Mane was crap, was he? Salah, Bobby Firmino, Robbo, Matip, Van Dijk, Alisson, Konate, Genie at the time, Fabinho. I don't think they were coal, my friend. I think they were very, 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 very good footballers that Jurgen Klopp improved because that's his job. You know, how many people have bought what everyone considered good footballers at other football clubs and the manager's not got anything out of them? Because you've got to have a good combination. You've got to know what your manager wants. Yeah, so if you've got a Salah or you've got a Mane, you've got a Bobby Firmino, you've got these players, or not Bobby so much because he was there before Klopp, but, you know, the Salahs, the Manes, the Virgils, the Alissons, you know, of this world, and, you know, the Konates, the Genies. You're looking at these players and going, right, these are good footballers. These are really, really good footballers. And if I get these players from Jurgen can make these absolute diamonds because they've got so much ability, and the way we play, the system we play in, Klopp can get magic out of them. And that's what's the great combination between a sporting director and a manager. That's what you need to succeed in football today. You need that in football today. You need to know what your sporting director needs to know the job that your manager can do with certain players. I remember Liverpool fans wanting Anthony from Ajax. I remember Liverpool fans up and down everywhere going, we should be getting Anthony from Ajax. Shouldn't be letting him go for Man United. He'd be perfect in our team. You know, it should be a great combination between the two. And Jurgen Klopp's done an amazing job because he's doing his job. He's made some of these players. Look, if you look at some of the players that are playing that are not good enough, that are playing for Jurgen Klopp right now, were people that Jurgen Klopp bought. Your Gakpos, your Darwin Núñezes, your Gravenberches. Yeah? These Szoboszlais. You know, the people that everyone's pissed off with right now in our team are the players all Klopp bought. Klopp and Pep Linders, they were their players they bought. And he's doing wonders with them right now to get us where we are in the league, because I don't think they're good enough. But if you look at Liverpool's most successful time under Jurgen Klopp, I don't care what people say, it was when Michael Edwards was sporting director and Jurgen Klopp was manager. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. People might not like it, but it's an absolute fact. That was our most successful time. They built the team together. Klopp's vision and managerial excellence, and Michael Edwards doing what he does good in his job, finding the right players for him. And as a combination, they did beautiful things together. Right, I'll ask everyone in the chat right now. You guys in the chat right now. After Michael Edwards left Liverpool, did our recruitment get worse or better? Just put it in the chat. Just put it in the chat. When Michael Edwards left Liverpool, did our recruitment get worse or better? Just put worse or better in the chat, guys. So as soon as Edwards left, did our recruitment get worse or better? Just put it in the chat. Let me know. Everyone's saying worse. But everyone keeps going at Edwards. This is what I'm saying. You need a combination of two. I don't think managers are great at buying players. I'm going to say it right now. I don't think managers are great at buying players. I think you need that sporting director. The people behind the scenes, that their job is to watch players every day of the week from around the world and scout them. That's their job. They live and breathe scouting players all day, every day, 24/7. You can't ask a manager to do that, because a manager, in my opinion, should put full concentration on coaching his squad. That should be his concentration. He shouldn't be the sporting director and the manager. He should just be the head coach, coaching his squad and getting the best out of his squad on the training pitch and on match days. That should be them coaches and managers' job. They shouldn't be doing other things. The job of buying players should be people behind the scenes that live and breathe 24/7 in looking at players, the best fit of a player, the best personality of the player, the best technical ability of a player. And will that player, if I go for him, be perfect for my manager? And if the answer's no, you find the next one. That should be the job. That should be the job for me. And between the two of them, as I said, building that Liverpool team. Remember, Michael Edwards became sporting director 4 months after Jurgen Klopp got the job. Before that, he was technical director. So he's part of the analytics team and the data team, starting that data stuff. So, because there's this thing going online at the moment that everyone said, look at the players Michael Edwards bought before Jurgen Klopp joined Liverpool. He didn't actually buy them players. He wasn't the sporting director at the time. In fact, I think Ian Ayre was the man regarded as bringing these players in, going into other clubs and doing the job and doing the business and bringing these players in. It wasn't actually Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards was part of the technical director of the data. So he'd have all data. He was part of what Michael Edwards was. He was part of the team that started this data research into how Liverpool do transfers that everyone else has copied since, by the way. Like, you don't have to go around the world scouting. You can do it from home in the computer with all the data research and stuff like that. He was part of that. He set that up. And then eventually he became sporting director. And then his job was to go to all these teams to crack open deals and to sort deals out and to sell players and buy players and stuff like that. I believe before then, it was Ian Ayre doing it all. So I just don't get. And remember this as well, guys. By the way, this is how much people respected Michael Edwards back in the day. For some reason, they've all turned on him and gone against him. When Michael Edwards left Liverpool Football Club, no one wanted him to leave. Everyone was really sad about Michael Edwards leaving. And when he left, everyone blamed FSG. Everyone said it was FSG's fault because they're too tight with money. And people will say, I hope Michael Edwards goes somewhere else where he's given money to do the stuff he can do because he's the best at it. Right? That's what everyone was saying. But now we know that's not true because he's come back to FSG. He's actually working for FSG. So it had nothing to do with the money side of it, guys. This is something you've got to remember as well. Obviously, it had nothing to do with that financial shit. I just don't get why everyone's completely turned on I just don't get the 360 on Michael Edwards right now. I don't get it. Everyone loved him when he was sporting director. Everyone. We called him the best around for a reason. Rival fans were jealous of the fact we had a sporting director like Michael Edwards. And now he left and come back. Everyone's like against him. I don't get it. I find it really hypocritical. I really do. I have no understanding of it. And then I'm hearing stuff. All right. So obviously we've got Richard Hughes as our sporting director now. And people are like, who's Richard Hughes? Who's Richard Hughes? He was at Bournemouth first. Why have we got Bournemouth sporting director? That's all I keep hearing now. Why have we got Bournemouth sporting director? What does he know? Well, Michael Edwards was never a sporting director at any football club before. I know he worked at Tottenham for a little bit, but he wasn't a sporting director at Tottenham. But he worked like in departments there. But Michael Edwards came and did a job without any real backstory or knowledge of this or that at any other club. So what makes people think that Richard Hughes can't do a good job? You know, Richard Hughes has got a lot of contacts. I just don't. I don't understand the negativity. I really don't. I get it. I understand it because Jurgen Klopp's leaving, so everyone's looking at it now and trying to blame everyone else. Everyone's trying to blame everybody else that Jurgen Klopp is leaving. You know, it's FSG's fault. It's Michael Edwards' fault. It's Richard Hughes' fault. Everyone is blaming everyone because Klopp's leaving because you're losing someone you all care about. So you're all looking for an excuse why someone's leaving because you care about the geezer so much. And I get it. But he's leaving because he wants to leave. Leave him because he wants to leave. Eamon says, how is Edwards better judge on players than Klopp? Right, Eamon, do you think our recruitment got better or worse after Michael Edwards left Liverpool? Let me know in the chat. That's all I want to know, Eamon. Did our recruitment get better or worse after Michael Edwards left Liverpool? In your opinion, what do you think? And I'm not saying that Edwards is a better judge than a player, but it's about a combination of a beautiful marriage. Yeah, this is what you're not trying to get. What I'm saying, Liverpool at their best under Jurgen Klopp, it was the combination of Edwards and Klopp together. It was a beautiful marriage that he found the right players for Klopp to produce them to their highest talent. So that combination back in the day between Klopp and Michael Edwards was like that. It was the best. We all sat here as Liverpool fans and said, we got the best manager in the world and we got the best sporting director in the world. Did we not? Did we or did we not all say that as Liverpool fans? That's what I'm trying to say, my friend. I'm not having a go at you or anything like that, Eamon. But I'm just saying, like, you've got to have that great combination. Now, Klopp might have gone to Michael Edwards back then as well and gone, look, I really want Virgil van Dijk. I need to strike a deal with Virgil van Dijk. He's a defender I want. And Michael Edwards has gone, cool, let's get a deal sorted. Yeah. But then we was a bit naughty. Jurgen Klopp was a bit naughty because they spoke to Virgil before and tapped him up a little bit and we got caught. And because of that, we had to pay 20 million on top of the original transfer fee. Is why it was 75 million. We was originally meant to buy Virgil for 55 million. We put 20 million on top as an apology present, basically, and bought him for 75 million. Right? So, but you need that combination of the two. You do. In the last few years, I'd say Klopp's had no one he can really go to, in my opinion. I don't think Klopp's had anyone he can really go to for advice on players. So he's had to take it upon himself to get these players in. And for me, some of them have not really worked. I don't think Cody Gakpo would have been here if Michael Edwards is sporting director still, in my opinion. If Michael Edwards was still sporting director, I don't think we'd have bought Cody Gakpo. I think he would have looked at someone like Kudos or something like that. But I feel for Klopp because he didn't have someone there that he can rely on and go to with help for that sort of thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Big up, my man. Hope you're doing well. Big up, man. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Hope you're doing good. If we're going to blame anyone, for all this, by the way, just blame the people that own the football club. If we're going to blame anyone, if you want to blame anyone, blame people who own the football club. And I'm not blaming Klopp at all. As I said, I think Klopp didn't have his ally, didn't have that person with him that can help him with players. Now, Klopp knows the talent around, but he needs someone then to go and help him get that talent. And unfortunately for him, for whatever reason, Edwards left Liverpool Football Club. He left Liverpool Football Club, and it's unfortunate. It really is. But the way people are now turning on Michael Edwards, I find bemusing because he was great when he was here, and we so appreciated him and called him the best sporting director in the country. And we got the best sporting director, we got the best manager. It's a great partnership we got right now at Liverpool Football Club. As long as they stay together, we can't go wrong. And so I don't understand the fickleness right now. No, I love your channel, man. Born and Red is a quality channel, guys. If you don't already, go and subscribe to Born and Red, man. Great Liverpool channel. They do great stuff over there, guys. I believe they've had a few exclusives on that channel as well. They've had Fabrizio on there and stuff like that where they've interviewed him. Go over to their channel, guys. Go and subscribe to my guys over there. They do beautiful things. The Liverpool community is the best in YouTube. I'm telling you, it's the best in YouTube. Yeah, that's fine, Eamon. Look, I'm not going to say you're wrong either. I'm not going to say you're wrong either. What I'm saying is you need both. I think we can agree with that. You need both, because if you look at the transfers in the last 18 months, I don't think they've been good enough. I think we'll probably both agree with that, Eamon. I don't think they've been good enough. I think McAllister's been great. This might shock people. I'm 50-50 on Konate. I always have been. I don't know if Konate is good enough long term. I really don't. I am so 50-50 on Konate. Sometimes he looks like a world beater, and then sometimes he looks like an absolute clown. I am so 50-50 on Konate. I always have been, though. I've never been, and I think Klopp is as well. You know, Klopp has never made Konate his number one choice to play alongside Virgil. You're still seeing it now. You know, why is Quansah getting games ahead of Konate this season? You know how mad that is? So I think even Klopp has his things on Konate that he ain't too sure about. But he's a young man, Konate. He is a young man. But I personally think we need a better defender. I personally think we need a better defender. You know, the injuries as well, I don't think have helped Konate's career either. Constant little injuries he keeps picking up that really bugging. That drives me absolutely mad. Do I think he's a better defender than Joel Matip? No. I think Joel Matip's a better defender than Konate. Obviously, Virgil's a better defender than Konate. Is Konate a better defender than Gerald Quansah this season? I'd say no. I think Quansah's outperformed Konate this season. I really do. And I shouldn't be saying that. I shouldn't be saying that for a guy who got managed by Joey Barton last year. You know, Quansah's been managed by Joey Barton last year, guys. I shouldn't really be sitting here saying, no, Konate should be light years ahead of him. And I don't think he's light years ahead of him. It's just, he's got quality, Konate. There's no doubt about it. And that's what pees me off. You know what? You know what upsets me the most is when I see players that have got quality and they don't adapt themselves 100% all the time. Because I believe a player staying fit sometimes is on the player as well, that they're not looking after their body enough, that they're not looking after themselves enough. Because all these little muscle injuries, yeah, you've got to look at yourself in the mirror sometimes going, why am I getting these injuries all the time? What's wrong with me? What can I do to stop this happening constantly? Sometimes you've got to look after yourself as well. And Konate's got a lot of qualities that I really do appreciate about him. I love the fact he believes in himself, that he's big, he's strong, he's tall, he's quick as a centre-back as well. And he's got so many qualities and likeable characteristics that could make him a well-beater as a centre-back. But he can have a performance like he did at a Champions League final when he was probably man of the match, even though we lost that game. He had an outstanding final. And then a few weeks later, he could look like a completely different player. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? Konate can go from being a well-beater at a centre-back, and a few weeks later, he looks like a completely different player. And that's a mindset thing for me. That's a mindset thing for me. And that's my only issue with Konate. That's why I get really peed off with him sometimes, because I see the quality there. You know, I see the class there. I really do. And I do see a lot of qualities about his game. And I just feel like I just think it's a mindset thing, because I've seen Konate have, we all have, he can play. He might tomorrow, he might look world class. But last against Everton, he looked dog shit. Do you know what I'm saying? He has too many of them games where there's no in between with Konate. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but Konate is either world class or dog shit. There is no in between. There's no middle ground. Konate's either up here for 10 games in a row, he's like world beater, world class, or then for 5 games, he's dog shit. There's no in between with Konate, and that's my problem. That's my problem. Quansah cost us the league to United. I think the strikers cost us the league more than Quansah, my friend. I'm not having Quansah get absolutely ripped apart for probably the only mistake he made all season, when our strikers couldn't hit a barn door. You know, I think you got to look at the strikers more than the defenders, man. You know, I think if our strikers could score goals, that mistake wouldn't have mattered. Let's put it that way. If our strikers could hit a barn door, I don't think that mistake he makes wouldn't matter, would it? You know, you got to look at the strikers; they've been shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at Champions League final points. He's got quality. I don't like the way he plays covering the role of Trent. Neither do I. I hate it. I'm going to say something now that might upset people. I don't think we've played that well since Trent came back into the team. There you go. I've said it. Shoot me down. I honestly don't think we have. Have we actually played that well since Trent came back in the team? We look defensively worse. I don't even think Trent plays the inverted role that well. I just think he's got a free role. I honestly don't. Did you see Trent's defending for the second goal against Everton, by the way? It was disgusting. It's terrible. I don't think Trent's very good at inverting. I think he's just got a free role because he doesn't defend. I think we've been worse. I just think, I've said this time and time again, Trent Alexander-Arnold has not been as good since he's gone into that inverted role. I think we've taken a lot out of his game playing this inverted role. He barely gets assists now. You look how good is he. I want Trent to go back to being an up and down right back. That's what I want. I want Trent to be what he used to be, an up and down right back. If he's an up and down right back, he gets more assists and he gets more involved in the game. I think putting Trent in his inverted role, I don't think he's played as well as he does when he's a proper right back. I really don't. I think you either put. I think you either. I think you either put Trent in midfield where I think he should play, or you just play him as a proper out and out right back and no more of this inverted stuff. No, none of this inverted stuff. It drives me mad. How many times does Konate against Everton have to go over to the wide player because there's no right back there? Do you know how much that drives me mad? Drives me nuts, man. I love Trent. He's world-class ability. There's no doubt about it. I just don't think this inverted system suits him. I don't think he does the inverted role well. Does he do the inverted role better than John Stones at City last season? No. John Stones did it far better than him. Did he do it better than Kimmich at Bayern Munich? No. Kimmich did it better than him. The reason is because they're better defenders than Trent. Trent's got more of a free role. You know, he's a right back with a free role. Usually when you say someone's got a free role, they're usually like the number 10 or the attacking 8. And they got that free role, you know, in the team where they can pick up positions in attacking into the pitch. But our player with the free role to right back. And because Trent's so good on the ball, you know, he can get away with it, but he doesn't get back in defensive positions, man. He doesn't get back in defensive positions enough. And I think you guys have even noticed that now, that Konate gets pulled about all over the shop when Trent inverts, gets pulled back all over the shop. And with a man that has injury issues in his muscles, that has muscle issues in his legs constantly, you're asking Konate to go from centre-back to right-back to centre-back to right-back to centre-back to right-back constantly all game, when you know that player has muscle issues. I just think that's balmy. I just think that's absolutely nuts. I just think you got to find a role for Trent and keep him in that role. You either make him a midfielder because of his attacking quality on the ball, or you make him an up and down right back like Trent always used to be. Up and down right back like he always used to be. I actually think he defended better before he went inverted as well. I think Trent actually defended better as a right back before he went inverted, when he was just an up and down right back. That's the Trent. I want that Trent back. Give me that Trent back. I'll be happy with it. I really would. I really would. Trent is more a liability now, in my opinion. It's just because of the position he's playing in. Yeah, I'm with you, Goat. I'm with you, man. We're all living in these uncertain times right now because we're losing a legend. Jurgen Klopp is a legend, and he's leaving our football club. Absolutely legend, and he's leaving. So we're all a bit down in the dumps, and we've all got this uncertainty of the future. But we've got to back him. We've got to back Arne Slot. I want him to succeed. I can't believe there's a Liverpool fan out there who don't want him to succeed. I want him to prove everyone wrong. I'd love it if Arne Slot has a good year like next year. But as I said earlier, guys, even if Jurgen Klopp stayed next year, I personally don't think we're going to win the Premier League. So why does everyone think Arne Slot needs to go and win the Premier League next year? Because I don't think we would next year anyway, even if we had Klopp. So it gives Arne Slot, for me, a good 12 months grace period where he beds himself into the team, into the city, into the club. Gives him that 12 months. And then after that, I want to see a bit of something. That's the way I'm looking at it, man. That's the way I'm looking at it. But guys, look, Arne Slot is going to be Liverpool manager. It's going to be, look, we're in uncertain times, but I'm hoping, I've got fingers crossed that we're in for good times. You know, I really do. Liverpool are trying to get things sorted. They're trying to get the behind the scenes stuff sorted. They're trying to get, you know, they've got a sporting director now. We've got, obviously, Edwards in charge. We've got, you know, other bits and pieces that are being put together as well. Arne Slot's coming in. We know his assistants coming with him. His other coaches coming with him. And apparently they're going to bring the doctor in as well, because something about, I didn't say earlier, Arne Slot, most of the time that he's been manager, has a 90% fitness rate for players. He barely gets injuries. He has a 90% fitness rate for players. Now, this is a big thing that Liverpool have messed up in the last few years with the injury front. If Arne Slot and his team can come in with different dietitians, different doctors, different coaching aspects, and we keep players fit and healthy, we've got a much better chance of doing better next year than people actually think, in my opinion. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We just got to give him that chance, man. We just got to give him that chance. But I understand why people are uncertain and nervous. I'm not going to have a go about people like that. You know, if you're feeling uncertain and nervous about everything, I understand why. But I don't feel like that at the moment. I feel quite positive at the moment. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I feel quite positive at the moment. But listen, guys, it's 10 to 3 in the morning. I think we all got to go to bed. Big up to everyone. Appreciate you coming and joining me. You all stayed with me. You know, it's almost 3 in the morning. You guys have stayed with me. Do you know how much love and respect I feel from you guys? I really appreciate it. You guys are beautiful. Thank you very much for staying with me, guys. Really do appreciate it. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow evening after the Liverpool game. We will be doing a review of the Liverpool game tomorrow evening. So make sure you join me tomorrow evening. Make sure you got your notification bell switched on when you subscribed. And so you know when I go live. So, yeah, hopefully Liverpool win tomorrow, guys. You know, I've sort of checked out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about you guys. I do feel like I've checked out a little bit now this season. I feel like the season's done. But I want Liverpool to finish off on a high. I don't want the team just slugging their way to the end line. And it's quite a depressing end of the season. Let's try and end the season on a high as best we can. But I've sort of checked out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But look, 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. Let's try and beat West Ham. And you never know. Arsenal might lose to Tottenham Sunday. Who knows? And, you know, and Man City might lose again. Who knows? We don't know in football, but I hope you enjoy it, guys. Big up to you. Good night now. And I'll see you tomorrow evening. Enjoy your weekend. God bless.